Farming and rugby go together like the name Barrett and Taranaki. The dairy farming whānau are well known in the region as a bit of a rugby production line. 5 sons, fathered by smiley Kevin Barrett, who played 167 games for Taranaki.
These 15 anonymous players who've become provincial folk heroes because of this extraordinary performance here at Eden Park this afternoon.
His 2 eldest sons, Kane and 19-year-old Bowden,
Barrett sells the dummy, and in he goes.
Seen here scoring for his beloved Naki, well, they're already making names for themselves in the ITM Cup. Meanwhile, back on the farm, 16-year-old Blake and 17-year-old Scott are playing first 15 for Francis Douglas Memorial College, a school where Dad and all 5 brothers play or played, including youngest Geordie, who's still only 14 but looks destined to follow in his brother's footsteps. It's fair to say they're more than your average rugby family, and Saturdays can be a little hectic, especially as Dad is still playing at the age of 44.
Yeah, it is quite hard for Mum and Dad to get around and watch 4 different games or 3 different games, so it's got to work in with grandparents and whoever else.
Well, so Geordie's only one playing morning grade rugby now, so he kicks off at 10 o'clock. So last Saturday, I went to watch Geordie play. 1 o'clock, Scott and Blake played. I watched a game and a half of that, then shot just down the road 20 minutes and put on my boots in there and played 60 minutes there.
You must be very, very proud of Dad.
Yeah. It's always a good laugh going down, watching him play, put on the boots for God knows how many times.
He loves
him run around,
so yeah. It's good to watch that, eh?
What's he like playing third 15 rugby? How does he cope?
Oh, he runs around the ball in one hand and holding 2 defenders off in the other.
Well, the Barretts owe a lot to Francis Douglas College for their rugby grounding, and equally the college are very grateful for the talent.
We'd like them to have a few more, but it's a bit late for that. We'll have to wait for the next generation, I think.
Well, remarkably, there's been a Barrett in the first 15 at Francis Douglas every year now for the last 6 years. But none of them have ever beaten New Plymouth Boys High. And that's because the last time that Boys High lost this fixture was back in 2003. The strength of New Plymouth Boys High is obvious. The school send off their first 15 to all away games and are fully behind them when they play in one of the most intimidating amphitheatres in school rugby.
Dug out by the old boys, so they dug out the terraces themselves, had all the boys in wheelbarrows and everything like that. I think it used to be a swamp, but yeah, it's turned out pretty nice and it's an awesome historic ground for us.
So, plenty of tradition at Boys High, including 24 All Blacks. The outstanding school in Taranaki rugby have played crosstown rivals Francis Douglas 14 times and lost just twice.
Our boys are training 5 times a week. We have, 3 afternoon training sessions. We have 2 gym sessions in the mornings before school. Massive commitment. Some of these boys who just wanted to be in the first 15, not necessarily in it, but wanted to be in it, have started training back in October.
Well, Francis Douglas are no less dedicated and have 2 Barrett boys to boost them. They may not be a big team, but they've got plenty of heart.
We're small, and I guess that's when we play rugby, it certainly shows because we don't want to mix it with the big boys. We tend to ruck and run, get rid of it pretty quickly. But this year, it's been talked up a little bit in the papers and so forth. At the end of the day, it's another big bash. We love to be there, they love to be there, and it will be an exciting game, but tough. It'll be tough, yeah.
So the result of this eagerly awaited game, well, it's a bit like Mount Taranaki on a cloudy day.
So there is your college rugby schedule for the rest of June. 3 more games to come. 2 of those are live, 1 is delayed, but some fantastic matches there, that's for sure. Remember, these are exclusive to the Rugby channel, so get on and subscribe to the Rugby channel.